Hi Soul Risers, welcome back. So firstly, I want to say thank you so much for staying in touch and staying tuned and following up this series one after the other, the videos that I post on this series. Just to recap, we've been talking about the psychology of romantic relationships, and each week I come up with different ideas to follow, to embody, that can help you establish a healthy romantic relationship, whichever stage you're in, be it in the past, in the present, or something that you strive towards in the future. And so today's video is a subsequent to the last video I posted on what exactly is self-confidence, why is it important, why is it important to know the difference between self-esteem, self-worth, and self-confidence. Today, I'm teaching you two potent exercises that will completely change the way you look at yourself, understand yourself, and even carry yourself in the world. And trust me, guys, you got this. You have the power in you to achieve whatever you desire, and it's simple and it's easy when you trust yourself and have faith in the process and yourself. So today is all about trusting yourself and taking that first powerful step. So let's get down to it. The first exercise that I'm going to teach you, I call it the self-evaluation exercise. Now, what does the self-evaluation exercise consist of? It's basically consider yourself, take a pen and paper and start looking at yourself as a third observer and give yourself 50-50. Okay, in this self-evaluation exercise, what you're going to do is really understand where your self-image comes from, how you conceptualize yourself, how you score yourself on a scale of 0 to 100. And so we're going to divide the categories into external and internal, and we're going to give the external 50% and we're going to give the internal 50%. So when you look up to people who motivate you, who are maybe the top 1%, or people who are so inspiring that it makes you feel like, wow, I wish I had what they have. So certainly you are insightful enough to know what is attractive and what is not. And I don't just mean physically attractive, but also interpersonally, emotionally, all of those other qualities that are much, much more. So when you look at yourself objectively, see and score yourself on two different categories, external and internal. Each category gets 50%. So let's start with the external category. When you're scoring yourself on a scale of 50 for the external category, what you do is see yourself, how you feel externally, how you carry yourself externally in the world. So externally involves how you feel about your looks, how you feel about the way you carry yourself, how you feel about your interpersonal qualities with other people, how many friends you have, how many invites you get to go to parties, to get to be part of educational platforms and things like that. Look at yourself and see, are you happy with the way you look, with the way you feel about your fitness, about your complete external self? Okay, on a scale of 0 to 50, give yourself a score and exactly tell yourself what carries that score. So let's say everything about you, like the way you present yourself, the way everything that's external, that part gets like, let's say 40%, and maybe you're not fit enough. So maybe 10% gets cut off because that's something that you want to aim towards. You want to get that six-pack, or you want to get that perfect lean and clean body. So give yourself a very objective score in a very, very non-judgmental way. And again, this is not an exercise to shame you or to make you feel bad about yourself. It's an exercise that is making you understand yourself clear-cut from a complete transparent point of view. You are the best person who should know yourself. And so this is completely unfiltered, one-on-one exercise with yourself. Now that we got the external out of the way, let's go to the internal facets of you. So again, score it on a scale of 0 to 50 and give it each category. So why do you get 10% score? Why do you get 50% score for that? So go within and see what is something that you like about someone that you truly admire, and if you want those qualities in you, and if you do have those qualities in you. For example, intrinsic qualities could be something like being patient and kind and hardworking and loving and warm, or dedicated or compassionate, or a family person, or someone who is good at what they do. So all of these intrinsic factors, things that cannot be externally seen, but things that you embody within you that make you an attractive person, give that a score from 0 to 50%. Okay, now add those two up, 50%, add those up and see what the ratio looks like. So let's say you got a 50%, a perfect score on your intrinsic factors, right? So you work hard, you're good with people, you have a general good intention towards life, you have good values. All of that gives you like a 50%. Now let's go to your external factors and say you got a 40%, but maybe that 10% is something that you want to work on, that you got less because maybe you want to work on your fitness, or maybe you feel like you can improve the condition of your dress sense, or the way you style yourself, or any of that factor. I know it may sound superficial at this point, but being in the world that we're in, or in the society that we hang out in, we subconsciously do evaluate ourselves on those factors. Now, how much percentage of evaluation you give yourself based on those factors, this exercise will show you. It's a very eye-opening exercise. So what I want you to do next is, after you got the 50-50 ratio for the 100% of your external and internal self-evaluation, you will look at how much is the ideal and what is the actual, right? So the actual, for instance, could be that you have a 50-40%, okay, and that 10% is something you need to work on. But maybe what you're actually doing right now is that instead of realistically seeing what you are at, you are making that little 10%, which you have to improve on, making that 50% or even 75% of who you are. That's where the self-confidence is lost, and that's what you need to understand in knowing how to evaluate yourself fairly, objectively, and in a compassionate, kind way. Do not allow yourself to make that thing that is part of you, that is just 10% less, to be 75% defining who you are. Okay, so that's the first exercise that I highly recommend you to do. Watch this video again if you want to get a grasp of what I just shared, and I can leave notes in the bottom description box to make it easier for you to follow. The second exercise is much simpler. It's the art of visualization. And I know you must have heard of this plenty of times, but it is so potent that if you put this into practice, it can transform the way you think and feel about yourself. So a quick, easy exercise to do would be that whatever you're feeling right now, allow yourself to envision what you would like to feel. What would you feel like if you achieved that amazing part of you, that amazing sense of you? I will not say perfect, because in my next video series, I'm going to be talking about the illusion of perfection and why sometimes it's harmful to aim for perfection. So I'm not going to say aim for perfection, but I'm going to say, think about what makes you so content, happy, and 100% feel good satisfaction within your skin. Now put yourself in your mind, visualize that part of you. Visualize you in all of its essence, from external to internal, and start feeling what it feels like to be in that place. And then maybe start with 10 minutes a day or 20 minutes a day, and then 1 hour, 3 hours. Allow those emotions, those feel-good feelings to linger within you, as if you've already achieved it, as if you're already there. And so try this visualization exercise and embodying those good feelings and carrying that little stamina that you build of carrying and lingering in the good emotion feeling from 10 minutes to 20 minutes to 1 hour, and keep going.